Hello and welcome back to Developer's Diary. In the previous tutorial, we have learned about theme rollers in Apex. Today, we shall create our first workflow in Oracle Apex, and this will be the simplest workflow. After that, we shall move to the advanced level. So, first of all, we shall create a blank page, and this page will submit the workflow. So, name it as submit workflow. Click create and create a region. Workflow page and two page items and one button. So what we are going to do, we are going to enter manager and the initiator name and then submit the workflow. And this workflow will submit to this manager and the manager will approve this workflow. So this is the simplest first workflow for your understanding. Now go to the share component and you have workflows and automation and click the task definition. Create your first task definition. Then we have type and type we have action task and approval task. Approval task is used to approve or reject a notification and the action task is used to execute a code. So we want approval task. Then we shall enter the subject, for example, the first task definition subject. After that, we have the priority. If you have any payment related notification, then you can use urgent. Or if you have a leave approval, then you can use medium and low as per your business need. Then click create. So here we shall pass the page detail or notification detail page. If you don't have any, then you can create a new one. So we are going to create a new one. You can simply click on the create task detail page and it will create a page for you. Then you can see the link of that page, which is the page number 4 and the task ID that is passing to this page. After that, we have a participants. We have two type of participants, the potential owner and the business owner. In release 26.1, we have two more options to exclude owner and exclude admin. So the potential owner is basically the approver person that is going to approve the task, and the business administrator is the overall owner of the workflows. You can change the approver person as well, or decline and reject the workflow. So we need a potential owner first of all, and it will be the variable, or you can say manager name that we will send from the workflow submit page, or you can in the future we can pass it through query. So this is the first tutorial in which we are going to a manager name from our workflow submit page. So click create. Then you have to provide the parameter. The manager name is the parameter here. So we can pass it as it is. So this is the potential owner and this is a bind variable. So we have to provide the static ID as it is. We have mentioned here. Then we need an initiator. This is initiator that will initiate the workflow. You can pass it for your code, and if you don't want, it is your own choice. There is no relative task in this task definition for this initiator. Simply apply change. To the application, the page number 4 that was created as a task list, it will generate automatically. Now what we want to do, we want to show the approver and initiator here that we have mentioned in the submit workflow. You can see that. So in the page number 3, we will pass the manager and initiator, and we want to show these in the task detail page so that the approver can see the information. For that, we shall create a region here, drag it to subject and name it as message body, in which we need a two-page item. The first one is the manager, and the second one is the initiator. To assign the values, we need to do some computations. First one is for manager. So we shall write a query uh, to show the name of the manager here, and we get the name of the manager from the task definition parameter that we are going to pass through workflow. So write a query, select parameter values from apex task parameters table, where parameter static ID is equal to manager's name, and the task ID is equal to P for task ID. Validate the query. So what will this query do? When a manager click on the notification for the details, Then a task ID assigned to the notification. And through task ID, you can get the value of the parameters that you have defined in the task. So first one is the manager name, and the second one is the initiator. So we will copy the same query and paste it here and mention the name of the parameter that we have passed to the task. You can see that we have the initiator and the manager name. Let's copy these names and go to the page 4. Under the computation, verify these. You can replace them so that there is exact name of these parameters. So for now, what we have done, we have created a task and a submit page and a task detail page is automatically generated. And in the task detail page, we have add the parameter values. Now we should go to the share component and create our very first workflow. So this is our workflow, name it as was workflow. After that, we have the version. For the version, we have first version, and we shall add create two parameters. First one for manager name, and the second one for initiator. Now this is the start activity, and that will start the workflow. After that, we have this activity. Currently, it is execute code, but we need to use that task definition that we have created. For that, we need to human task create, and then we shall select our task definition. In the task definition, we have two parameters that we have created earlier. So we shall pass the workflow parameters to this task flow, or you can see the task activity. So this is initiator is the parameter of the workflow. We have assigned the workflow parameter to the activity parameter. Similarly, we shall assign the manager name, click save. So this is the incoming and outgoing arrows. You can see that the incoming arrow and outgoing arrow. After that, we need to mention the approver. This is the local variable, and you can also set the outcome of the flow. To define the outcome, we are going to the activity, and here we have outcome. So we shall select the variable task outcome, go to the variable and click the outcome, then click save, and then we shall define a participant here. So who is the participant in that activity task flow or this version of the workflow? Basically, the workflow owner is the person who has initiated the workflow, and it will visible to that person from beginning to the end. So we are going to provide an expression here. So initiator is actually the owner of the workflow. So that's all for the workflow. This is the simple workflow. When we start the workflow, it will navigate to the manager, and manager will approve or reject, and then it will be end. So what we have done in the workflow, we have created the parameter that we want to the submit to the workflow, and then we have select the activity, and the activity is basically the task definition that we have created earlier. Then we have mentioned the outcome into the variable, and then we have assigned the parameter of the workflow to the parameters of the activity. Then we have defined the workflow owner. So this is the simple workflow. Now we have to create two more pages here. First one is the workflow console. This is basically define or show all the workflows that you have initiate. You have multiple option here. Admin workflow initiated by me, my workflows. So for admin user, we can use this type of admin workflows. Currently, I'm going to use console my workflows and name it as my workflow details. Click create. Then we have to create another page for the approver person, which is a unified task list. And here we choose the context. Similarly, admin task initiated by me and my task. In my task, we can see all the notification that are required my approval in my unified task list page. So we can see unified task list and click create. So now my workflow is created and my unified task list is created and my workflow is created. Now we have to submit the workflow from the submit page. So for doing that, we can create a process, and in this process, we are going to choose the workflow option. And the first activity is the start activity, and the definition is the first workflow, the workflow that we have created. Now we have to provide the item that we have created on the page. The first one is initiator, and the second one is the manager. Click save, and in that activity, what we have to do, message workflow is submitted. Click save and run the page. So I shall log in with my first user that will submit a notification. You can see that unified page, any task pending to me, my workflows. These workflows I have created earlier. You can see that from this user. That's why they are showing here. Then we have a submit page. The submit page we have to change something initiator, and by default we shall choose the logged in person. You can use a context way of using this variable. Now run the page. So you can see that by default the name is showing. The second user that I have is the admin user, or you can name it as you want. I have choose the name admin. Now submit the workflow. So you can see that the workflow is submitted. Now go to my workflows, and you can see that first workflow, and in the detail you can see that it is started and the activity is waiting, the variable and the parameter. You can see that initiator and manager. The history, you can see that a new instance of workflow is created, and you can see the workflow diagram. So this is my workflow. Now let's log in with the admin and see unified task list. Now my workflows and unified task list. You can see that in the unified task list, you can see that the first task definition subject, which is the subject, you can approve or reject here. Let's click uh, the detail of this task, task detail. So you can see that the message body that we have entered as a static, and then we have computation to see the values of the parameters. You can and pass to this message body. In the future, we can use this parameter for forms to get the information from table. Use a form type of body. So you can see that. Now we can approve or reject the workflow. When we approve it, it will vanish from our unified task list. So let's click approve. So you can see that there is no pending task on our site. Now let's log in again with the first user. Go to my workflows, and you can see that first workflow and detail is activities completed, ended, and you can see the flow diagram. So this is the very first and beginner level workflow for your understanding how the things works. I hope you have learned something useful at Developers Diary. and see you in the next tutorial with some more details about workflows.